Hi there, little friends. It's Melissa. Are you ready for a long and magical adventure full of music, dancing, and a very big mystery? Today we're going to hear the story of the 12 dancing princesses. Imagine 12 sisters who love to dance so much that they wear out their shoes every single night, but no one knows where they go. Are you ready to help solve the mystery? Let's go! Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. They were all very kind and loved each other very much. The king loved his daughters so much that he wanted them to be safe. Every night, when it was time for bed, he would lock their door tight with a big golden key. The 12 princesses slept in 12 cozy beds in one big, beautiful room. Everything seemed very peaceful as the stars came out over the castle. But every morning, when the king opened the door, he found something very strange. All 12 pairs of shoes were worn out and had holes in the soles, as if the princesses had been dancing all night. The king couldn't understand it. How can they wear out their shoes when the door is locked? He wondered. He decided to find someone who could solve the mystery. He sent a message to the whole land. Whoever can find out where my daughters dance at night shall have a special prize and live in the palace. Many people tried, but no one could find the secret. One day, an old soldier who had been traveling for a long time came walking through the forest. He was very tired and sat down to rest under a large oak tree. He met an old woman who asked him where he was going. "I am going to the castle to solve the mystery of the dancing shoes," he said with a smile. The old woman looked at him kindly. "I will help you," she whispered. "Do not drink any juice they give you tonight. Pretend to fall asleep instead. And take this. It is a magic cloak of invisibility. If you wear this cloak, no one will be able to see you," she explained. "You can follow the princesses and see where they go." The soldier thanked her and continued his journey to the palace. The king welcomed the soldier and gave him a cozy room next to the princesses. That evening, the eldest princess brought him a glass of sweet juice. But the soldier remembered the old woman's words. He quietly poured the juice away and then lay down on his bed. He began to snore loudly, pretending to be fast asleep. "He's asleep," the princesses whispered happily. They put on their finest dresses and their new dancing shoes. They were so sure no one would see them. They giggled and whispered, getting ready for their nightly adventure. The eldest sister tapped on her bedpost, and, just like magic, a trapdoor opened in the floor. Below was a secret staircase leading down, down, down. One by one, the princesses started to climb down. The soldier quickly put on his magic cloak and followed them. No one could see him. He stepped onto the staircase and followed the sisters into the unknown. They walked down hundreds of steps. The soldier was so close that he accidentally stepped on the dress of the youngest princess. "Someone is following me!" she cried. But her sisters just laughed. "It's just a nail in the wall," the eldest sister said. "Don't be silly!" They reached the bottom and found themselves in a most amazing place. It was a forest like no other. The first forest had trees with leaves of pure silver. They sparkled like the moon. The soldier wanted to prove he had been there, so he broke off a small silver branch. Snap! Went the wood. "What was that sound?" the youngest princess asked, her eyes wide. But the others were too excited to listen. They walked on into the next part of the magical world. Next, they entered a forest where every leaf was made of bright, shiny gold. It was the most beautiful sight. The soldier broke off a golden branch too, and again the youngest sister felt a little worried. But soon they reached the third and most wonderful forest of all. In this forest, the leaves were made of sparkling diamonds that twinkled like 1,000 stars. The soldier took a diamond branch, and then they reached the edge of a great blue lake. 12 little boats were waiting there, each with a handsome prince inside. Each princess hopped into a boat. The soldier stepped into the last boat with the youngest sister. "The boat feels heavy today," the prince said as he rowed. They crossed the water to a magnificent island. On the island was a palace where music was playing. The princes and princesses went inside and began to dance. The music was joyful and the dancing was fast and fun. They danced and danced until their shoes were worn out and they couldn't dance another step. The soldier watched everything, making sure he remembered every detail of this magical place. When the sun began to rise, the princes rowed them back across the lake. The princesses said goodbye and hurried back up the secret staircase to their room. The soldier ran ahead of them. The soldier reached his room first and jumped into bed. When the sisters returned, they heard him snoring. "See? He's still asleep," they said. They put their worn-out shoes away and went to sleep too. The soldier followed them for 2 more nights. On the 3rd night, he even took a golden cup from the island palace. He had all the proof he needed to solve the mystery for the king. The next morning, the king called for the soldier. "Have you found out where my daughters dance?" he asked. The soldier bowed and showed him the 3 magical branches and the golden cup. "They dance in a secret palace across a lake," he said. The king called his daughters, and they saw that the soldier knew their secret. They laughed and admitted it was all true. They were so impressed by the soldier's cleverness and his magic cloak. The king was so happy to have the mystery solved. He gave the soldier a special place in the palace, and the soldier and the eldest princess became great friends. They often told stories of the Silver Forest to everyone. There was a grand feast that lasted for days. The whole kingdom was happy. The princesses didn't have to keep a secret anymore, and they could dance whenever they wanted in the beautiful palace garden. The soldier proved that with a little help and a lot of cleverness, you can solve even the biggest puzzles. He became a very wise leader, always remembering the kindness of the old woman in the forest. The 12 sisters continued to dance, but now they danced in the sunshine with their friends. They were the happiest sisters in all the land, and they always made sure to share their joy with everyone they met. The stars came out over the quiet kingdom. Everyone was safe and warm in their beds, dreaming of magical forests and beautiful dances. The story was over, but the happiness lived on forever. Good night, little dreamers. Now it's time for our little dreamers to rest. Close your eyes and think of the Silver Forest and the 12 dancing sisters. Always be brave, be clever, and have the sweetest dreams. Sleep well. Wasn't that a wonderful mystery? I hope you enjoyed our journey to the secret underground palace. It just goes to show that being smart and patient can lead to the most amazing discoveries. Have the most wonderful dreams tonight, filled with music and magic. I'll see you next time for another story. Goodbye, friends. Sweet dreams.